Hello there, folks. Right, we've talked about the Jimmy Savile thing with old Stephen Coogan a couple of times lately, but has anybody been watching the Peter Sutcliffe thing, the Yorkshire Ripper thing, the Long Shadow on ITV? I think it's been overshadowed a little by the about the Jimmy Savile thing. But at this moment in time, you've got three cracking series going on, what with the Savile, the Ripper, and Boiling Point. They're all coming within sort of 24 hours of one another, all on at the same time, which is unusual. Yeah, I just wondered if anybody had watched it. Now, I would imagine the story, I think it's a seven-parter, which is an unusual number in itself. I would imagine the story is pretty closely based on fact. I would imagine they've really researched it. There'll be bits and pieces that I would imagine have been slightly embellished and a bit more for dramatic purposes. But I would imagine it's pretty close to exactly what happened. And when you watch it, I mean, I've read many times over the years that the police didn't cover themselves in glory throughout it. But if it's only close to the truth, I mean, the police look absolutely terrible in the drama. They come out of it really, really badly. They really do. And for all there might be some bits and pieces, as I say, done for dramatic effect, I can believe, with what we've been seeing out of the police for the last 3 or 4 years, I can believe it was pretty close to the truth. I mean, they let, was it Wayside Jack fool them to a great extent. They decided it could only be a person with a Geordie accent committing the rapes and murders. It wouldn't be anybody from Yorkshire, for all the bulk of the rapes and murders were in Yorkshire. They had evidence very, very, very early on that they just put in the top drawer and forgot about. They had police going out doing the job and doing it properly. And when they came into the superiors and given them the bits and pieces they'd found, they just discounted it out of hand straight away. And you're watching it and you're thinking, oh my God, I mean, how many people could have been saved if they'd have done the job correctly? And you know it's probably right, as I say, because we've just gone through that is it with the Met recently? We've had 2 coppers there that have committed rape after rape and some murder after murder and gotten away with it for years, and kept the jobs until they've finally been found out. So you look at it and you think to yourself, have things really got any better in the police? I know there's a lot of policemen out there doing the job and doing the best. I do understand that. But honestly, with some of these murder cases and sex cases, some of the clues they get throughout them and some of the evidence that comes in that they just do not listen to or put aside is unbelievable. It's very similar to the Savile case in many ways, because lots of people were saying lots of things and many people were suppressing it. And I think it's happened with the police as well, in not only the Ripper case, but as I say, cases much, much more recent. But if you've not watched it, give it a watch. All right, it's hard watching from time to time. It's an awful subject. And you may think it's a subject we know loads about. It's been in, the public consciousness now for 30, 40 years or whatever it may have been. But it's still a great story. It's still really well told. And the amount of stars in it, the amount of faces that you know from British drama is astounding. There's loads of them. And they all play it really, really well. It's well done. I think it's pretty sensitively done. As I say, the police might not think that, but I think it is. They try to be mindful, I think, of the victims and the victims' families. It's a decent watch. It's well worth having a look at, But when you realise some of the things that the police let go, it's crazy. It must be a real hard watch for some of the families of those that were killed, especially after Wayside Jack made himself known. There must be people there that are really cursing it. But it's still, that said, worth a watch. It really is. Anyway, if you've been watching it, let me know what you think. Do you like it? Do you not? Is it a story that's worth telling? Has it already been told to death? Would you have preferred it not to be on there? I don't know. Let me know what you think.